Hey there! Today let's talk about solo tripping and being alone in the backcountry. Hey, what a gorgeous day! We had a late October snowfall and it is just gorgeous out here today. Today I want to talk about being alone in the backcountry. I think a lot of people struggle with the concept of being alone in the wilderness or the backcountry. I get a lot of questions about that, a lot of comments about that. And here's an example. Earlier this year, I went on a trip to the Catskill hiking trail right there. And before that trip, I had a conversation with my neighbor, just letting him know I'd be away for a couple days. The reaction I got was incredible. So you're taking a little trip, eh? Doing some camping, eh? Huh. I'd like to go camping. Huh. What? Backpacking? You're going backpacking? Huh. Who are you going with? What? You're going alone? I can't believe... 5 days alone? Oh, that's too long. I wouldn't want to do that. What do you do when you're alone? What are you going to do if you get hurt? What if you fall down and break a leg? That could happen to you. Oh, I wouldn't go. That's crazy. You're crazy. I wouldn't do that. Oh. That's pretty much what happened. He could not believe that I was going to be away and in the wilderness or backcountry for 5 days. Couldn't believe it. You know, we do live in a culture, unfortunately, where fear is often used to influence folks.
Look, this is very, very simple. You should all be afraid. Be very, very afraid. Tremendously afraid. Especially bears.
You know, we get bombarded with messages like that all the time, and I think sometimes we just lose touch with what the real risks actually are. So don't buy into the fear. North America wasn't founded on fear. North America was founded on a spirit of adventure and exploration. What if Alexander Mackenzie, David Thompson, and Lewis and Clark were too afraid to go out? What if they stayed home? What if some of our great artists that captured nature, like Ansel Adams or Tom Thompson, what if they were too afraid to go camping? Seriously. We got so many amenities these days, so many precautions we can take. There's no point in being afraid in the backcountry. Yeah, be prudent, be careful, be safe, but there's no point in being afraid. So what are some of the things that people are most afraid of? I often hear about bears, snakes, broken legs, and other backcountry travelers. Seems to me those are high on people's lists. But let's look at the data. Are those really the things that are most dangerous? This graph shows the causes of deaths that occurred in U.S. national parks between 2003 and 2007. Drowning, vehicle accidents, falling from cliffs, and suicide top the list. You are actually far more likely to die in a national park while driving your vehicle than by being mauled by a bear. So think about it. Am I really any less safe traveling solo alone than I am if I'm traveling in a big city or driving on the highway? I don't think so. The risks are actually pretty low. So let's talk about that worst case scenario. I'm hiking alone in the backcountry and I break my leg. Am I really any worse off than if I'm with a group? Hey, I travel with a spot device in my pack in a place that I can reach, and I can hit that SOS button and help will eventually arrive. Now let's look at the scenario where I break my leg on a trip with a couple other people. Hey, I'm a big guy. I need to be carried out, and a couple people isn't going to do it. They're going to have to leave me behind. Maybe one person will take care of me while the other person runs for help. That's going to take more time than the spot device. Am I really any better off? Yeah, I'll have somebody there to hold my hand. I'd rather have help arrive quicker. So when I'm traveling in the backcountry, I bring lots of different things to help mitigate risk. If I'm hiking, I'm bringing hiking poles so that I'm less likely to trip and fall. I always bring a first aid kit. I always bring a signaling device like a spot device. If I'm in bear country, I bring bear spray. I bring navigational equipment. and I always have several ways to make a fire. More importantly than gear is knowledge. Knowledge will help you feel safer. It's important that you know how to use your first aid kit. It's important that you know how to use your bear spray. It's important that you know how to use your navigational gear, and it's important that you can make a fire in wet conditions. So doing a solo backcountry trip can be very rewarding. You've got time for yourself. You've got time to think. You have an opportunity to challenge yourself and have an actual adventure. And you're probably going to be a lot more quiet than if you're with a group. And therefore, you're going to see a lot more wildlife and in some ways have a richer experience. And you know what? In today's busy world, where everyone has different interests and limited time, it can be really hard to find a partner to go on the exact same trip at the exact same time that you want to go. Wow, it's just fantastic out here today. Just fantastic. So if someone was new to solo traveling and wanted to go on a solo trip but still had some concerns, I would recommend 2 things. 1, build your knowledge. Go take some courses in first aid or bear awareness or do some studying online, but build your knowledge, build your confidence, and you'll be better prepared. Number 2, I recommend starting slow. Do short, simple overnight trips that are low risk and build from there. Soon you'll be doing multi-day trips and really enjoying it. The more solo trips you do, the more nights you spend in the backcountry, the more confident you're going to feel. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Here's a couple that aren't afraid of being in the forest.